What is your name and your occupation?
My name is Parker Sykes, and I am a registered nurse.
Awesome. Any specific floor, or what do you do with
I
it?
work in the NICU, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit.
And what is the NICU? What do you do
So
there?
we take care of preterm infants, pretty much,
Right.
or infants that have difficulty right out of the womb, in a way. Usually ranges from like 24 weeks to about 40 weeks, of course, but
Right.
yeah.
How long have you worked there?
Since September, so not that long. About what is that? 7 months? 6 or 7 months?
Something like that, yeah. Okay. Now, what made you want to be a nurse or a NICU nurse?
Oh, golden question. Every nurse gets throughout his career. So it's kind of funny going back a little bit. When I was back in high school, I wanted to be in theater arts. It was kind of funny, but I figured I want something a little bit more secure in a way.
Sure.
Nothing against theater arts. I love it to this day.
Sure.
Anyways, my grandfather and my grandmother, he's an orthopedic surgeon, and my grandmother, she was an RN as well. This was before me, of course, with my parents and everything. But when I was in high school, they're like, why don't you look in the medical field, look into nursing a little bit. And so as I looked into it a little bit more, I was like, yeah, I could see myself doing something like that. And then, yeah, I kind of switched my major when I got to college and went from there to nursing in the first year. And then literally I went through all the science classes, realized I liked it a lot. And then by the time I got into nursing school itself at TAMCC and did the classes, the clinicals, I just enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, pretty much.
What would you say you like most about working in the NICU in particular?
Oh man, there's just a lot of interesting cases that come through there for one thing. Also just the coworkers. It's just a good overall unit. People to work with, people are really smart. I learn a lot from them. But I don't know, it's one of those things that like, I don't have kids. I never really fed a baby or even held one prior to working in the NICU. But it's just something about it. I just like working with babies, honestly. It's just plain and simple like that.
Okay, so is there any big difference to working during a pandemic?
Yeah, there actually is. I mean, for one thing, it's kind of interesting hearing the like veteran nurses that have been working for like 20 years, because a lot of them are like, we've never dealt with this before in our lives. And it's funny, you'll see a lot of memes and stuff like that on nursing pages saying for like nurses that have been starting in the first year, like me and a bunch of my friends, because like first year in nursing school, we get thrown into a pandemic. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like, yeah, you gotta just kind of go with it and you gotta work with it. It's interesting, but yeah, it's a little bit different for sure. Just the things and the precautions that we have to take around the hospital, and just the constant protocols that come every day. Like every single day something's changing around the hospital.
Do you have any concerns working during a pandemic?
I will admit I'm very lucky in the fact that I work only in the NICU, so the babies have very, very low chance of, they won't get COVID in a way.
Right.
What we do have to worry about is the parents, because we don't know the parents are going outside the unit and they come back and it's like, did you get pretty much exposed to it while you were gone, and now we're like at the bedside with you sometimes. That's the only thing you have to worry about on my end. I don't have to worry about too much, which is very fortunate, and it's incredible what the nurses that do have to work with it have to. I know we have 3 floors of the NICU at the Driscoll. I work on the 3rd, but sometimes on the 5th sometimes. But ever since this pandemic started, we've switched the 5th floor to the COVID floor. We haven't had any COVID patients. I was reading an email this morning. We haven't had any positive cases at Driscoll yet.
Right.
And I think there's like 65 or 69 cases in total in Corpus. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not so bad for me just because of the position I'm in and what unit I'm in right now. But,
Right. Makes sense. Is there anything that you'd like to tell people during this pandemic to like calm down, or like any advice you'd give anyone?
I mean, yeah, keep informed, but at the same time, don't focus too much on the news. Like, of course you understand what's going on, but like, don't be just cooped up in your house, and just constantly getting the feed of like CNN News and ABC and whatnot. It just makes you paranoid. It makes you upset. You think everything's going to hell pretty much. It's just, it is a difficult time. It just sucks, but yeah. Another thing, just wash your hands, pretty much. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with hot water and soap. Easy. Whenever you go out, one thing that I've been doing, even when I come back home from just going to the store or whatever, just leave your shoes out at the door. Don't bring them inside. Just wash your hands as soon as you get home. You can take a shower if you want to. No big deal. Just change your clothes. It's a little extreme, but why not? It's just taking precautions. Also, stop wearing gloves at the superstore. It doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Just wear a mask, that's fine, but don't wear gloves. I mean,
would you like to show people how to apply a mask?
oh, we can do that. I mean, it's
I just saw it. It was right
yeah,
there.
I saw it too. I was like, hey, I actually gave this to you yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just kind of like, it is actually a pretty typical surgical mask. My hat helps a lot.
I've seen a few people walking around with those, actually.
Mm-hmm. These are good. I mean, they were fine. Mm-hmm. The importance with these masks is you're not really protecting yourself, or, no, I'm not going to say it that way. You're protecting, anyways, yeah, that's how it goes on. You just tie the bag, but don't touch the face. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. And if you have to actually take it off, then you have to, actually take it off from the sides. And that's it. Just whatever you do, don't touch this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Parker, thank you very much for sharing.
Of course, you're welcome.